Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the Caribbean. It is Thursday evening, April 13, 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know that there has been in your ear recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. I respond to all comments and I really live for this stuff. Alright, so taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see that we have a high pressure ridge across the Atlantic that's sending a lot of easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. And to the north of the Caribbean, we can see that we have a cold front right there across portions of the southwestern Atlantic, affecting portions of the southern United States, and it also stretches all the way up into the northern section of the North Atlantic. Taking a look at the visible satellite images before the sun went down, we can see those low-level patches of clouds moving from east-west across the main development region into the Caribbean, all courtesy of that easterly trade wind brought about by that high pressure ridge. And to the north of the Caribbean, we can see those lines of clouds associated with that cold front, bringing some amount of overcast skies and showers to sections of the Bahamas, Florida, and the southern United States at this time. We'll be talking more about the Caribbean's weather later on. Let's focus our attention on what took place across Jamaica today. So according to the visible satellite images, we saw that during the afternoon we had a buildup of clouds across mainly southern parishes in Jamaica. So sections of Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, got in on some of that. And some of these clouds made it into cumulonimbus clouds, and we know that cumulonimbus clouds are those thunderstorm clouds that reach all the way up into the upper levels of the atmosphere, all the way up high into the upper levels of the atmosphere, and then they met with that upper level wind shear being pushed off from the southwest. So we had all of those clouds being pushed off to the east, or the east northeast, by that southwesterly wind shear. And if we take a look at the infrared satellite images, we can see that we indeed had some high cold cloud tops in there, as indicated by all of those greens, yellows, oranges and reds. So we indeed had some amount of thunderstorms across the island, as indicated by those sparkling white dots as well that show lightning flashes across mainly portions of eastern St. Elizabeth and Manchester today. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 23 degrees Celsius in Mandeville, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay. As usual, as the night progresses, these temperatures should be getting lower. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that both the Euro and the GFS are showing 18Z on Friday, which is actually 1 p.m. Jamaica time on Friday. And we can see that Jamaica is embedded in some slight yellows or gold colors that indicate at least 1 to 2 degrees Celsius above average temperatures, as we can see on the key at the right. And what are the average temperatures for the month of April? About 88 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's about the equivalent of about 31 degrees Celsius. So if we're going to be receiving 1 to 2 degrees Celsius above average temperatures for tomorrow, we should be getting anywhere from, let's say, 31 to 33 degrees Celsius at most, especially across northern and western Jamaica. Taking a look at the dry air map across the Atlantic, we can see that for the most part Jamaica is embedded in some yellows, oranges and slight reds that indicate some dry air across the region. The driest air seems to be right there to the northwest of Africa, right there. And that's where majority of the Saharan dust is located. All of those browns is where we see the dust associated with the Sahara Desert, and that is what it's going to be looking like for 2 p.m. on Friday. As you can see, Jamaica is right there to the south of Cuba, to the west of Port-au-Prince, and we're in the clear for 2 p.m. on Friday. Taking a look at the wave forecast, we can see that for the most part Jamaica is being surrounded by some blues that indicate 1.5 meter wave height or less. The highest wave height seem to be right there across portions of southern and eastern Jamaica, with northern and western Jamaica receiving the least amount of waves. And it makes sense considering that the strongest winds seem to be coming more from the east or east-southeast for tomorrow. And we can also see that we have the least amount of winds right there across inland areas of central and western Jamaica, as indicated by the blues on the map. And what usually happens in the afternoon hours when we have that least amount of winds across those spots? Well, we have that buildup of clouds, which might lead to some amount of afternoon convection. So something similar to what happened today might just happen again. A buildup of clouds leading to afternoon convection, some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. And if we get that cumulonimbus cloud again, that upper level cloud wind coming in from the southwest again, as we can see on the wind shear forecast. This is 1 p.m. on Friday. More southwesterly wind shears being predicted by the Euro and the GFS models. I know that when we have consensus on both maps, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. So if we should be getting some amount of afternoon convection across Jamaica for tomorrow, majority of those clouds will be pushed off towards the northeast, maybe bringing more overcast skies and rainfall to sections of northern Jamaica. Taking a look at the rain forecast for tomorrow, we can see that by 3 p.m. on Friday, we have a lot of blues across portions of central and western Jamaica, especially inland areas of central and western Jamaica. I know that when we have agreement or consensus on both maps, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Taking a look at the accumulated precipitation for tomorrow, so both maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected across Jamaica from now up until 10 p.m. on Friday. And we indeed have some amount of consensus with the rainfall sections of central and western Jamaica, but it won't be that drastic, it won't be that robust. The most rainfall that we're seeing is up to 0.39 of an inch of rainfall, and that's situated across portions of western Jamaica. So we indeed have some rainfall to get tomorrow, and we're indeed grateful because we're in one of the driest months of the year, April. And the average rainfall for the month of April across Jamaica is about 114 millimeters of rainfall. So we'll take all the rainfall that we can get before we head into one of the rainiest months of the year, which is May. Well, that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let's focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see that we have, for the most part, a lot of low-level clouds being pushed from east to west across the Caribbean. We can see a lot of rainfall and cloud cover across portions of Hispaniola, maybe western Puerto Rico, portions of Cuba as well. Taking a look at the Doppler radar images. As you know, the Doppler radar images show the actual rainfall as opposed to satellite images that show cloud cover. So we can actually see that right now we have that green across portions of western Puerto Rico. That's indicative of some amount of rainfall across the area. Taking a look at Doppler radar images from earlier today, we can see that we had some rainfall across central Puerto Rico. We had some passing shower or two across portions of the US and British Virgin Islands as well. We don't have much in the way of rainfall across portions of the northeastern Caribbean, so St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua, Barbuda, Guadeloupe, Dominica. Didn't have much in the way of rainfall across those regions today. However, taking a look at the Barbados radar, we can see a lot of rainfall to the north, southeast, and west of there. So they indeed have some rainfall to get later tonight, and they've been getting some passing showers or two throughout the day today. Even areas to the west of Barbados, such as St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada, and Martinique, might be getting in on some passing shower or two for tonight. Taking a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see that we have some amount of rainfall right there across portions of French Guyana, maybe pushing into sections of Suriname later on. We have some rainfall right there across portions of Colombia, portions of Cuba, sections of the southern portions of Florida associated with that cold front as well. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that the below average temperatures, or the average temperature, should be right there, anywhere from Puerto Rico off towards the east and the southeast of there, while the warm temperatures, or the above normal temperatures, seem to be right there across portions of South America, so French Guyana, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, portions of Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, Mexico, portions of Cuba, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Florida, all the way up into the eastern United States. That's where we see that we have majority of the above normal temperatures for tomorrow. Taking a look at the dust forecast, 2 p.m. on Friday, majority of the Caribbean is in the clear. We don't have much in the way of Saharan dust to experience for that time. Taking a look at the wave forecast, we see that the highest waves seem to be right there to the north of Panama, and that's due to the fact that the strongest winds will be right there. The strongest winds are indicated by the yellows, and that will be anywhere from 20 to 30 knot winds. Majority of the wind should be coming in from the east tomorrow, averaging anywhere from 5 to 20 knots at most. And If we take a look at the rain forecast for tomorrow, we can see that we indeed have some rainfall across portions of Hispaniola to receive, sections of southern Cuba, portions of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, all associated with that cold front, even the waters to the north of the eastern Caribbean. We still have some rainfall across portions of Puerto Rico to receive some slight rainfall, not anything that drastic. And portions of the eastern Caribbean could receive some amount of rainfall as well, so Guadeloupe, Dominica, portions of Martinique, St. Lucia, portions of Barbados to receive some rainfall as well. Even as far south as Trinidad and Tobago should be receiving some amount of rainfall. Right there, we see some rainfall across portions of eastern Venezuela, portions of Guyana. We see some rainfall across portions of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, and maybe even portions of the southeastern section of Nicaragua as well. Taking a look at the areas to the west, we can see some amount of slight rainfall right there across portions of inland areas of Mexico, and we also see some rainfall right there across portions of the northeastern tip of the Yucatan Peninsula and portions of the western section of Cuba as well. Alright, so that's it for the forecast for tomorrow. Thanks for watching.